Okay, we have the confirmation that Angel will be the next new character added to the game. So let's take a look at all her skills and her passive, etc., to get a sense on whether she's going to be a good character or not. Now, in terms of whether you want to summon her or not, I guess vast majority of you guys probably summoned the Unlockers, so you probably wouldn't have enough tickets for Angel anyway. But it's still good to go through all her skills so you kind of know whether she's going to be a good character worth building in future. Now, before getting into all of that, I guess a bit of an update for those of you who saw my last video where I was doing like 700 summons as a free to play. Um, I meant to go one step further. Like I previously thought I couldn't do it, but actually I did manage to hit 1,000 for this kind of event rebate to collect all of the rewards. And even on the limited banner itself, I managed to hit all 500 in this week. I previously thought I'll have to wait for the end of another 7 days before getting enough resources to do it. But after just kind of like running around in the game, just kind of digging up all of the resources possible, I just managed to hit it. I only have like 22 diamonds left, so I'm literally on the brink of bankrupt, but still I managed to get it in the end, so I'm very happy with that. In case you're wondering where did I get all those extra resources from, some of them is just from like event exchange. So for example, this race one, I exchanged all of the tickets for the limited and the recruit one here. I also just push past a few stages. So for example, in challenge mode, in the tower mode, you get 10 tickets when you cleared floor 200. So obviously I meant to get that. So that's a bit of extra resources. And just kind of in general, I was kind of just looking around for diamonds by finishing off all of my elite stages, all of those kind of additional stage achievement. So I haven't quite finished chapter 13 yet, but all of the previous one I managed to do all of them. So that's where I'm getting the extra diamonds and extra ticket to do that. Didn't need to top up, still staying as a free to play. So still very proud of it. This is actually really good offer now that I'm looking at it. It's only like £1 for 10 tickets, but I'm still keeping it completely free to play, at least for now. So anyway, that's just out of curiosity for anyone who's interested to see kind of where I went with kind of my massive summoning streak. But yeah, now that I'm all out, I definitely wouldn't be summoning for a very, very long time. But yeah, so Angel, for me personally, it's going to be a skip. If anyone else kind of went hard on Luxus, I'm guessing she will be a skip as well. But for completeness, let's just take a look at her kit. Now, one thing very annoying with her is that her skill 1, which is kind of her signature skill, where she summon up another copy of your ally, this one cannot be used if there's no ally to be cloned. And that is really, really annoying because when you're actually doing this preview mode, you don't have any allies, so I can't actually use this skill at all. If I let me just start this. So if I do this, nothing happens, which is really annoying. Now this is her main gimmick, but this is something I'm not able to test. So please do bear that in mind when I'm kind of talking about the rest of her kit. This is like one crucial part and probably the most important part of Angel. So it's really annoying they didn't design this preview like properly so that you actually have an ally to copy, etc. But let's take a look at her other skills. So starting off, her normal attack is range attack, which is nice. But then the annoying thing is that her skill 2 is close range. I never like it when a character like a long range character have like a close range attack because it's just really awkward. You kind of need to get up to them to use it, but in reality, you're so much better off just standing far, just using normal attacks. So I personally wouldn't pay much attention to skill 2. It gives her a shield, but let's be honest, like you are putting up a shield on yourself because you're so close range, so that you don't take much damage from that. But if you're standing far from the enemy, you wouldn't take damage in the first place. So like this shield is really pointless, in my opinion as well. So that's just something I don't really like in general for long distance character or long range characters to do like short range attacks. Then her skill 2, this one just fire a straight line, do a bit of a pushback, which is nice. So if you see here, push back the enemy slightly. So that's quite nice. You can use this to create some distance so that your normal attack can then hit while you are kind of safe from enemy attacks. But once again, really annoying while you have this short range. I guess what you probably want to do is use short range first, get a shield, then push the enemy back. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Like, why don't you just stand further away and just attack from far with your normal attack? Yeah, I'm just not great fan of this skill too. Then skill 4. Uh, Inflict reduce moving speed, control immunity for only 0.5 seconds, but that's okay, I guess. At the start of battle, I think that's still gonna be useful because a lot of characters do use control skill first. Uh, okay, the range is okay. It's decent, but it's not like massive like Jalal or Midnight or Luxus, that kind of range. But it's decent. You inflict reduced movement speed, so that's also quite good. The debuff is only for 2 seconds though, so it's not the greatest. Let me test out her auto order now, just to see which skill she used first. Because I think the skill 4, this control immunity, even though it's only half a second, it'd be useful if that's the first skill she used. But let's see whether that's actually the case. Oh no, she used skill 1 first, then skill 4. Okay, this is a really bad attacking order because what's gonna happen is, vast majority of the time the enemy is gonna control you. So I'm not even sure whether you would be able to, maybe you would even be interrupted when you're doing a skill 1 because there's no control immunity here. So yeah, so not great fan of her AI attack order in kind of like peak contest, that kind of like bot PvP. But other than that, this skill 4 is okay. Reduced movement speed. Yeah, nothing too crazy. I think just average. Then passive, when she into battle, she gain angelic body, increase physical attack by 2.4, movement speed by 2.4, dodge by 5, crit hair by 2.4, crit damage. So a bit of everything, but none of them is like massive improvement. So okay, that's okay. Just think of it as like she have a slightly higher base stats, I guess. Leader skill. When HP drop below 40%, there will be a 7.5% chance to recover 20% max HP. That's 7.5 chance, that's really low. Let's see whether it gets any higher when you actually level her up. Hopefully she does, because otherwise that's a really bad RNG. Uh, oh, I can't even see leadership skill here. Okay, I don't know what happens when you actually upgrade that. Hopefully it'll be higher, because otherwise 7.5% is ridiculously low. Like that's almost not worth it. Setting her as leader. Um, the interesting thing which I forgot about this to mention is that also it do a bit of a life steal. So that I guess is the other main gimmick for her skill 4. It start off with only 1%, but it does go up to at least 12% as you hit level 12, I guess. So per depending on how many level you are, that's gonna be how many percentage of life steal you're gonna get. So once again, that's not bad. Because her once again, I think her main gimmick is her skill 1. Her skill 1 have a really long cooldown. So if you can make her bulky and lifesteal, etc., then potentially you would be able to cast this a bit more frequently, because this is a 40-second cooldown. So this is a quite long cooldown. And the other thing, yeah, I think reduce damage taken but for the clone. Okay, fine. But yeah, so that's kind of all of the skill Angel is gonna have. What really think, what I really think make her shine is her skill 1 and also the additional benefit when you get her as a nano passive up. Um, at the base level, just enhance HP, which is okay. These like not bad, but nothing too crazy. This enhanced penetration also quite nice, but it's only for 2 seconds. So basically, you're only getting penetration for this attack itself. So that's okay. It'd be better if you can actually get penetration for your next attack as well, in which case you can then use this for the lifesteal. But I guess they probably said that would be too OP, so they decided to only give it 2 seconds. So pretty much just for the duration of her skill 3. But what makes her really good, in my opinion, is really at the last level. When the allies copy clone by this, increase skill cooldown reduction by 50%. Now, I'm not too sure whether it's 50% skill reduction for the copy or for the actual character itself, but in any case, that is actually really, really strong. Because a lot of time, what you realize is that sometimes when you are in a lot of battles, you are kind of just casting off your skills, then you switch to the next character, cast off your skills, etc. And then sometimes when you do not have any skill available, at least what I end up doing is I kind of just run around the field, dodging enemy attack, wait for my skill to come back on, and then using them again. So regardless whether it's the copy or whether it's the actual character that was getting copied, reducing skill cooldown reduction by 50% is going to be massive. And I think you can even make this even stronger by setting like Midnight as kind of the main character, etc. So I definitely think she has great potential once you are able to reach this. But before that, in all honesty, her skill 2, skill 3, skill 4 to me are all just okay, like nothing crazy. Skill 2 is bad, to be honest, because that's short range. Skill 3 is okay, just a standard attack with high penetration if you're able to get her SNL passive. Skill 4, a debuff plus lifesteal can potentially help her to survive a bit longer. But the order she uses in AI bot is really bad. Like she uses a second attack rather than the first one. So yeah, I'm not really impressed by her skill 2, 3, or 4. Her skill 1 is the one that really shines for me, and also her SNL passive if you can get her eventually to 6-star. But unfortunately, this is not something I'm able to show you guys or test it. So I'm gonna leave her as a bit of a question mark. I think she can do good in long term, especially if you have like another DPS on your team. So for example, you have Midnight setting as the leader. Midnight already reduced cooldown, and then you can bring someone else, a copy of Midnight out, and then you have like two insane DPS with really wide range attack. I think that could be really crazy. But yeah, in terms of kind of like character planning, Angel is not someone I would recommend to be top of your list because once again, like what makes her good is the fact that she can copy a clone of your ally. So make sure you at least have one really good DPS completely built first before deciding to then build a character such as Angel, because Angel would rely on that other really good DPS that you have in the first place. So yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts on Angel. A skip for now anyway, because you're probably low on resources. But even in the future, I think probably hopefully we'll still get a free copy of her so that you can actually then test the skill 1 a bit properly. And if you're deciding that can be the case and you actually do want to summon her, then make sure you have one really good DPS for you to actually pair with her so that she can really shine.